Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. And today we're here to do a Q&A. We just wanted to jump on here, talk with you all about what's currently going on at Manchester United. And in all honesty, just take any questions you guys have. Doesn't matter what it is about Manchester United, ask it. If it comes down to youth products, if it comes down to whatever, I don't care. Ask your question and we'll answer it for you guys. So today, I'm joined by not one, but two guests. I am fancy up in this bitch. Today, I'm joined by the one and only Craig Perota. Craig, how you doing?
Hi.
Bro?
Yeah, man. It's been a long time. Yeah. Not bad.
Well, that's because somebody just has to work all the time.
You or me?
I think both of us at this point.
Yeah, man. Just plodding along, doing our thing.
Yeah.
Working. That's
Yep.
it.
Doing grown man stuff.
Exactly. Boring.
Exactly. And speaking of grown man stuff, Matthew McFadden, how you doing, man?
You know what? It's been a good day. It's been a good day, I'm not going to lie. Good to see Craig back after his suspension as well.
Yes.
You
know, we do have to put people on suspensions once in a while here. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So we just had to do it today. We had to. It's nobody's fault but his own, though. So, anyways.
I'm a rogue.
Exactly. We're rogue. We're rogue. So, guys, we actually already have our first question here. So, very first question comes from Jack Coleman, who's asked, list your 3 favorite players. So, Craig, I'm going to go to you first. List your 3.
Can you ask it? Is it what, of all time or our current squad?
Let's do both.
Probably of all time. Probably Eric Cantona, George Best, and Ronaldo.
Oof, that's a hard list to beat. Okay, so then do your current players then.
Current players of the squad now would probably be David De Gea, Lindelof, and Pogba.
I like it because that's pretty much who I'm going to have too, except I might change up one player because you got to have the French connection. But Matthew, give me both, please.
I'm not going to lie, 3 current players, easy. So De Gea, Pogba, and Martial. Simple as really. And then all time, it's a tough one. Because I started watching football back in like 2001 when I was about 4 or 5. So obviously I didn't see that 99 final. However, Ole was one of my favourite players growing up. It was him, I think it was him, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ryan Giggs. They were like my 3 favourite players. And those were like my first favourites. I'm tempted to say them, but you can't leave Ronaldo out of it.
So
I'd say...
Ronaldo is one of those I think he's a questionable one for a lot of people though, in terms of like a favorite player for United.
Depends what age you are, it doesn't it? You know what I mean? Depends how old you are.
Yeah.
If like me, I'm an old bastard, so I can go further back.
Craig, you're like what, 3 years older than me?
Yeah.
But Matthew, I'm sorry to interrupt you. List.
That's cool. I think I was like 6 years old when Ronaldo signed, so I sort of put things into perspective.
Wow.
So I'd probably say Ronaldo, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and because he was my first proper favourite, Ryan Giggs.
Oof, yeah. I like it. Which
I'm a decent front 3, not gonna lie.
That Ryan Giggs for me is somebody that I think it's really hard to leave off of a list because I just look at how long he was at Manchester United, and like you just think about the way that modern sports work. How often do you see one player stay at one club like that for that long? Like it's crazy. It is actually crazy to think about. Which, by the way, Michael Hubbard, good to see you. Good to see so many people live here with us. I'm happy we have a lot of our regulars here. In case you guys didn't hear, we're going to be doing a Q&A today. So just fire in your questions, and we'll answer them all together. We're going to go for about an hour. So
Yeah.
we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. So for me, my top 3 all time are Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney is the guy that made me fall in love with Manchester United. Paul Scholes, because I mean he's a ginger. I kind of have to have a ginger on my list. And then lastly, but not leastly, Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs for me, like I was just saying, he's a hard one to leave off of my list of like top 3. And then honestly, it's kind of a tie with Paul Scholes and Roy Keane. Like I love them both, but because I like to make jokes once in a while, I'm going to keep the ginger on the list. But we'll just move on to our modern day list, and it's De Gea, Anthony Martial, that beautiful Frenchman, and then the other beautiful Frenchman, Paul Pogba. Love those two guys. Absolutely love those two guys. I mean, have some different lists from people. I mean, Jay Hart said all-time Ronaldo, Scholes, and Rio, which I think that's a solid list. Dan Gray said all-time is hard. He said, for me, it's Scholes, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and Beckham, and then current, De Gea, Martial, Pogba.
Yeah. But you can go so way back, like straight away, Yapstam come into my head. Gary Pallister, Brian McClare, Dennis Irwin. They're all fantastic players.
Yeah, you could genuinely go back to as far as the George Best days. You can go as far back as saying Sir Bobby Charlton. You can go that far back.
They were players that was just on the end of my tongue and like straight away fired about.
So we actually have another question here, guys. This one's from Michael Hubbard. He asked, is Fred good enough? Matthew, I'm going to ask you that question first. Is Fred good enough?
Right, hear me out. I've got a theory here. I'm not sure how many people know this, but when Fred was at Shakhtar today, at the start of 2017, he got done for doping, for taking performance-enhancing drugs, and he got banned for, I think it was 6 months for the rest of the season. I just think he's looked good because he's been on that his whole career. And now when he's actually can't take them due to stricter laws over here, he just looks like a bang average midfielder.
Well, that's possible. I mean,
it's probably not true. But in terms of what we've seen, what has he really offered apart from a goal against Wolverhampton?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but listen, I do think that with Fred, he needs more game time. I mean, we ultimately haven't really seen him this year. You be real about it. How many games have we really seen him? Like, hard to know. But, I mean, by the way, Mr. Exclusive, we love you too. You know it.
How you doing?
Right. Same question to you. Is Fred good enough?
I don't think Fred's had a decent shot yet under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's had a couple of games with Jose. He scored the goal past Wolves when Jose was in charge. And it was a good goal. I just like him to go on a run of 5-6 games where he gets to go. As we all know, Brazilian players do bring flair to a team and a decent run in the squad. Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer turned around and has said in the past that he's going to give everyone a shot, and he's given Pereira more games than Fred at the moment.
Well, real quick, Wesker, just so you know, Pogba isn't suspended at all. Pogba will be available for our FA Cup game.
Yeah, he will be. It's only Champions League
suspension.
Yeah, it's just a Champions League suspension. So, for me, Pogba's got to start all day long. So, I would love to see Fred get more minutes here because I believe that he just needs more game time. You're not going to know what you have in a player until he gets more game time.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, give him, a couple. By the way, Arthur's very upset because he hears the landscapers outside.
Or he just doesn't like Fred.
Or he just doesn't like Fred. You never know. It could be one or the other. So, I mean, but realistically, at the moment, if you were to press me and say, hey, do you think Fred is good enough? You have to answer the question. I would say at the moment, no, I do not believe that Fred is good enough for Manchester United. If you were to force me to make an answer. But
yeah, I would say the same.
like if you're forcing me to make an answer, that's what my opinion is. But at the moment, I believe you've got to give him more time. I just think that you do. I did see we had another question here. Need to get back up to it. So Dan Gray did ask the question, which I know we had our debate. And funny enough, we've got two of our debate participants here. Schmeichel or De Gea?
I'll piss off.
Look at that.
Schmeichel.
Anthony's triggered.
I'm fed up of this question.
But
Schmeichel.
It's if you're going based on trophies, you'd kind of have to say Schmeichel. But if you're going based off of who I think is the more talented keeper at the moment, I would say De Gea. At this stage in their careers, I would say De Gea is my personal preferred keeper. But granted, I also didn't really see, peak prime Peter Schmeichel.
I did.
So it's hard for me to make the comparison because all I can really see is, highlight videos from back then. And we all know Matthew's going to say De Gea. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of scrolling through, making sure I didn't miss any questions before I...
No worries, man. No
worries. So Vandy Candy said somebody has to ask it. Fellaini's worst moment in a United shirt. So, Matthew, to you first. What is Fellaini's worst moment in a United shirt?
Right, and Tuesday night I phoned you and we were talking about this particular moment. I remember it like the back of my hand. 4th of December 2016. I don't know if I still remember the date. It was a day before one of my coursework assignments, and I thought, oh great, I have to do a lot here. And Man United were playing Everton, and it was at Goodison Park, and then I think we were 1-0 up, either 1-0 up or 2-1 up. And Fellaini comes on with about 5 minutes later, with about 5 minutes left of the game. 2 minutes later, he fell something for a penalty, and we ended up slipping. It was one of the most stupid moments ever, because it didn't make sense. Mourinho didn't need to chuck him on. And it was just the most idiotic thing I've ever seen anyone do, to be honest. Yeah, George Campbell.
No dying.
What's that?
No dying.
All right. Craig was over here dying.
Oh, offended. Anyways, don't do it when I'm talking. It's a bit rude.
I'm sorry. But so I'm sorry, Matthew. But for me, I'm gonna say the moment that is Fellaini's worst moment. Funny enough, is a moment that he did manage to kind of save us, and it was the moment that he scored that equalizing goal. I'm sorry, not the equalizing goal, the winning goal against Arsenal. You guys remember that?
What, 2-1?
It was the winner against Arsenal last season.
At home.
At home.
I walked out at 1-1.
He scored a winning goal, and I just remember being like, I literally had no emotion about it. A lot of people gave Goldie a lot of crap for not having any emotion about scoring the late winner like that. But for me, I watched that, and I was just like, it's paper over the cracks all over again.
That was last season, wasn't it? It was
yeah.
It was like Arsenal reserves, because I remember it because it was me, you, and Jotty on the call.
And I think, was it their young Greek lad got sent off, didn't he? Arsenal's Greek lad at the back got sent off, and they went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
So, you know what, Craig? Same question to you. Least favorite moment.
Least favourite moment, signing for Man United.
Yes. I was hoping somebody would say it.
I've got another least favourite moment, and it's more of a personal one.
It was
this was like
hold on, Matthew.
When he signed for Man United, it was like that's all Moisey could get, wasn't it? you know. And don't get me wrong, it cushioned the blow a bit because he signed Matter as well, didn't he? And I'll thank him for that.
Yeah.
You know, bringing Matter in. But everyone knew from as soon as he signed for Man United, what is he doing? He's not a Manchester United player. He's not a Manchester United mould. He's, you know, as we call it, the black sheep. You know, he's always been mediocre.
Yeah.
Squad player. And I never rated him. Like, I didn't, you know, everyone says, oh, but give him this because he scored important goals for us in the Europa Cup. And I think he scored like 4 goals in the Europa Cup when we won it, didn't he?
Something like that. But ultimately, I mean, those are Mickey Mouse cups that nobody cares about.
Like, oh, Arsenal care about that.
Yeah, exactly. But Arsenal are going to get knocked out by a literal bunch of farmers. So, like, I can't believe what happened yesterday. Like, I didn't get the chance to watch anything, and I just remember seeing that Arsenal lost 1-0 to a team that looked like it was the actual name of a person.
Baiting it.
Like, I just, I don't know. But Matthew, you said you had a personal moment.
Yeah, this was like January 2017. I went to the Hull game. It was the EFL Cup semi-final, first leg, and I went there with my cousin. And we went up 1-0 up, and I said to him, right, second goal scorer, I'm getting a name of said goal scorer on my shirt.
Oh, no.
And yeah, I think you all know what's going to happen. And at that time, I completely forgot that Flynn existed. I was joking to myself, thinking, oh, it's going to be someone dead, like Smalling or Jones or whatever, and it's going to be a waste of money. Second half, Flynn comes on. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, I know what's happening here. We were right at the end, I think. And that is the most slow motion header you'll ever see in your life because it just looks over the Hull keeper. And I'm obviously, celebrating for the second to get that shot. There was a video going about of that header against Hull. I was going about Twitter when he left. And you can actually see me in the video. Got a blue jumper on, and I'm celebrating. But what you don't see is my cousin turning to me and laughing in my face because I have to get a Fellaini shirt. So the next day, after staying in hotel football, I got to the Mega Store. And so I got a shirt, and obviously there weren't any Fellaini shirts, like pre-printed ones, because let's be honest, who's getting a Fellaini apart from me? So I went there. I went to the little printing bit. I very reluctantly said Fellaini, so I said it under my breath. Fellaini. Like 2 minutes later, then about 2 minutes later, there's a few people in the store. There's a fair few people. Instead of just coming up to the person who she knows has got a Fellaini shirt, she shouts out Marouane Fellaini's name, and I'm just here like, really? Are you going to do that? You're actually going to embarrass me?
I can just see it now.
Poor Matthew.
What's a Fellaini shirt?
I 100% would have been getting the guy giving you crap for that.
That's funny.
Finest day, I must admit. Not my finest day whatsoever.
So, guys, we actually do have another good question here. And Craig, we'll go to you first on this one. Should we keep Alexis Sanchez?
Do you know what? A lot of people are saying no, get rid of him. But I can't help but like the guy. Like, I really can't help but like the guy. And I just want him to score. When he scored past Arsenal, I thought, oh, yes, he's back. And then he goes missing for 3 games. But I don't want to get rid of him because I think if he goes somewhere else, he'll score goals and then I'll feel gutted. So no, I don't want to get rid of him.
That's a tough question to answer because like ultimately for me, I still say get rid of him, but you can't help but hope that he gets better because
he's a likable character. He is,
I don't know. It's a hard one. So Matthew, I'll let you answer while I think about mine.
So I'll be honest, I don't like him one bit. He just doesn't look like he cares anymore. As soon as he came on against PSG, most of us are thinking, all right, that's the game over now. We're not really going to get any goals. And it's not even a case of he can have a bad game and the rest of the team will have a decent game, which you can kind of excuse. That stuff happens all the time. When he has a bad game, it influences Pogba because they both clash in terms of their possession. Luke Shaw can overlap all he wants, but he's not going to be given the ball by Alexis Sanchez. He always cuts inside, always makes the same annoying little chip pass, and he just doesn't look like he wants to try anything different. Like I said in, I think, a stream last night, like he's gone from someone who we were expecting, right, he's going to pull off absolute fireworks, he's going to be on the level of De Bruyne, to, okay, he's not worked out under Mourinho, but let's see how he does under Ole. And then it's going to, why are we even choosing him anymore? But such a massive decline in expectations for the last year just shows how awful he's been. And for me, he's the worst signing United have ever made. When you consider expectations and reality.
Yeah, that's actually a very fair point. In terms of expectations to reality, I would say, I mean, maybe Di Maria could be on that same level, but at the same time,
yeah, I'll be honest, I don't even think Di Maria was that bad. Like, he hurt compared to what we thought of him.
I didn't rate Di Maria, man.
But I'll just say this: my poem still stands. Okay, Angel Di Maria can just F right off. Okay, I don't like the guy. Like, I'll take Alexis Sanchez over him any day. Still,
100%.
I hate the guy, but so guys, actually, I like this question real quick. So I'll just say, for me, get rid of Alexis Sanchez and let's hope we can bring in somebody better.
But would you get rid of Alexis Sanchez if we still didn't get anyone in, or would you wait to get someone in and then get rid of Alexis Sanchez?
I'd get rid of him just to play Chong and Gomez and Greenwood. But I actually think that we could probably almost all. I don't know what everybody else's answers would be, but the question from Jack here said he's asking signing you were most excited about but ended up being disappointed in the end. It's Alexis Sanchez. I think Alexis Sanchez is the only one that stands out to that extent because we stole him off of City. We genuinely stole him off of City. And we were expecting a guy to come, and we got him for nothing. That's the other thing, is we got him for nothing. See, Arthur's upset with the whole talk of Alexis Sanchez. He's done with it. So,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Craig, I mean,
yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely, because I was expecting the player that scored, what did he score, 80-odd goals for Arsenal?
Yeah.
And even to now, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I still feel he's the same player under Jose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's a major letdown, but I just don't want to see him go. I want to see him just, I don't know, just call me stupid, call me what, anything, but I just want to see the guy that was at Arsenal and at Barcelona, but maybe his days are gone, but who knows?
So, I mean, Matthew, do you agree with that?
I'm going to chuck in a massive curveball here and say Radamel Falcao. Because see when we signed him, I think it was like midnight in transfer deadline day. I'd fallen asleep. I don't know why I still remember these days so well. Fell asleep, it was school the next day, and I woke up and I saw the headline that we've just actually signed Radamel Falcao on a loan. And I was absolutely because that was our 42nd signing that window. And that just topped a lot for me. And he just, what did he do? Turn into
What did he score? I think 5 goals, didn't he? Something like that for United.
I think it was that. Yeah, I think it was 5 goals, which, to be fair, is Alexis Sanchez level.
Exactly, that's how many Alexis scored. And then Alexis scored 2 important goals out of them 5.
Yeah.
So, I actually really like this question from Wesker for Life. He asked, would you sign Jadon Sancho if it meant losing to Heath Chong? Matthew, to you first.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm going to get pelters for this, but yeah, I would. Who's more proven?
You're getting deleted off group chat, my son.
Right. No, I'm keeping Chong, man. I'm just like, but no, like, to be fair, see, like, as good as Chong can be, we've yet to see him. So I don't.
It's hard.
I know what my reasoning is, but I can't put it into words. But it's just the fact that Sancho is like 18 years old. He started every single game this season, and he's doing absolute best.
Mm-hmm. Dortmund, who are winning the league right now.
Exactly.
And they will.
The points difference are getting closer and closer as the weeks go by, and it's quite annoying to see that. So don't like Bayern Munich one bit. But anyways, yeah, what?
So, Craig, same question to you.
When he says get rid of, does he mean get rid of forever or a loan?
I think when he's saying, would you sign Jadon Sancho if it meant losing to Heath Chong, basically saying to Heath Chong wasn't going to get chances, so he decides to leave the club.
Oh. Yeah, I would. Because we know, Jadon Sancho, he can score the goals. We've seen what he can do. Chong, we've only seen glimpses of what he can do in the under-21s. Sancho's playing Bundesliga football week in, week out. And he's played against.
In fairness, which is a tough league. The Bundesliga is not an easy league.
I would say it's the second league down from the Premier League. I would say it's the second league down from the Prem.
In terms of overall competition, I agree with that.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I would.
And see, that is a tough one for me because I love Heath Chong. I believe that he can be successful at Manchester United, but we still have not seen him given chances to this point, which makes you wonder what's going on. Why haven't we seen him given those chances? Because we all believe in the saying, because it's been coined by one of by possibly our best manager ever. If you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah, and it's quite. I wasn't expecting it. I'm expecting him to play because when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come in, he did say he's going to give everybody a chance, and he hasn't, has he? Really?
We haven't seen to this point.
Yeah.
No. So for me, you're good, Craig. I would say for me, I would take Jadon Sancho at the moment. Just at the moment. I love Heath Chong, but because we know Jadon Sancho is tearing it up in the Bundesliga, he's done well in Champions League. I mean, I believe that he can come and be one of the best right wingers in the world. So for me, I would lose to Heath Chong if it meant we got Jadon Sancho. As much as that sucks to say, because I do love Heath Chong. I genuinely do. But I'll take the guy that's proven at the moment that's also 18 years old himself. That's impressive. That is impressive. So there was another question here I saw that I really liked. So Dan Gray asked, if Matic, Herrera, or Pogba get injured or can't play, who do you put in the team for the rest of our squad to fill in for each player? So, Craig.
That's a pucker question.
Yeah.
Fred?
Well, then who would you say would be coming onto the bench then?
McTominay. McTominay would have to start because he knows what he's doing. Fred and Gomez.
Let's see here.
For them three.
So, I mean, Matthew, same question to you. I mean, do you think that there's somebody besides, your favorite Scotsman that should come onto the bench if we lost one of those players. Let's say we lost two. So, Matthew, I'm going to add a step to this question. Let's say we lost Matic and Pogba. Who are you putting on to start, and then who are you putting onto the bench?
As a Matic replacement, Scott McTominay. We just need someone who's going to keep it simple. And Scott McTominay, I mean, he's about as basic as a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks.
I like that.
I've been waiting for him to ask me that question because I came up for that for about 2 minutes ago. As a Pogba replacement, probably Andy Pereira, because Pogba's more sort of that forward thing. And I think Pereira, as bad as he's been, in games that aren't pre-season, he could probably do a job there. Seems to be more in his comfort zone. A lot. So he could try him there. And then if Herrera was to get injured, then Fred would be that replacement. So he seems more kind of box-to-box, kind of well-rounded midfielder.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think that to go with the question that I asked Matthew, so I do think that Scott McTominay is the guy to come in and replace Matic at the moment. So, like he said, somebody to keep it simple, somebody that won't, come in and try to do crazy things. But the Pogba replacement is the hard one because I believe Paul Pogba is irreplaceable. So for me, I would almost say change up the formation, go to a 4-2-3-1. And for me, I would say start Mata at the 10 and then bring onto the bench the likes of oh my God, why am I James Gardner, the likes of James Gardner, and then for that number 10 position, Angel Gomez. Angel Gomez's best position is going to be at the 10. Which, by the way, this is the real question. Salt Solstice, I mean, Matthew, I saw you say what a question, too. Salt Solstice with one of the hardest questions I think will ever be asked. Would you sell one of the three of Pogba, Rashford, and Tony Martial in order to get Kylian Mbappe?
Yes.
To you first.
Yes.
Who would you sell of those three then?
Lingard. Who was it? Martial, Rashford,
and Pogba.
Martial.
Oof. That's a controversial one there, my friend.
No. Rashford.
Oof. That's even more controversial.
Rashford. Imagine that. Martial, Mbappe, and Pogba feeding them. Oh.
I know, man. I know. That's a hard question because for me, I'm like, I don't think that I would get rid of any of those three.
No, you can't do that.
I'm sorry. No, you can't mess up in the Backmeister General himself.
Nah, he plays for PSG. Fuck that guy.
You can't do that.
Mbappe's like the third best player in the world.
Answer the question.
So, I did answer the question. For me, I wouldn't because I believe in my players. I believe in Paul Pogba. I believe in Marcus Rashford. I believe in Tony Martial to be some of the best players in the world. I don't necessarily believe we need to bring in Kylian Mbappe in terms of we have to get rid of one of them. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get rid of one of them just to bring in Kylian Mbappe. I wouldn't because I believe
we don't need to do that.
Everybody
else. Man United don't need to get rid of anyone to buy him. If we want him, I feel that Manchester United could buy him easily. And that is the God honest truth.
Matthew, those three, would you sell anybody?
I mean, it has to be Rashford, even though he's come up from the youth academy. Like, I don't know why, but I don't like Rashford as much as I do Pogba and Martial. And I don't know what it is with him. Like, obviously, I do really like Rashford, but just not on the level of Pogba and Martial, to be honest. And I think that
I'm the same in that aspect.
That Rashford's easier to replace. Because Pogba, I mean, he's shown that he's one of the best midfielders in the world, if not the best midfielder in terms of his current form. Martial, even though he might have a quiet game occasionally, will just pop up with some absolute wonder strike. And then Mbappe, even if we have to Greenwood going up front, Mbappe's always proven that he's one of the best in the world in the right way. And that's another problem maybe that we have. With Lingard, I mean, he's a good player, but he's not starting quality for a team who wants to win a title. Mbappe is.
Like I said, man, for me, I have a hard time taking sentiment out of it. Marcus Rashford is a fucking red through and through. I'll keep Marcus Rashford all day long because I believe in Marcus Rashford. I believe in Marcus Rashford to become one of the best players in all of Europe. I believe in Tony Martial to become one of the best players against all of Europe. And Paul Pogba, I already believe, is the best central midfielder in all of Europe. That's my opinion. So
same as mine. That's the same as me.
I'll keep my guys before getting rid of anybody to just get Kylian Mbappe. Because end of the day, we don't know if Kylian Mbappe is just tearing it up because it's the French league.
No, or, in the World Cup.
No, I know, man. I'm just trying to be
He's trying to smooth the edges off.
Yeah, trying to shape something here. But so I actually did not to change the topic already, but I wanted to get to this question. Doug, he asked, what has been your favorite moment of the season? So, Matthew, to you first, what has been your favorite moment of the season?
Favorite moment or favorite goal?
Favorite moment.
Favorite moment, 3-2 against Newcastle, purely because we were there.
That was...
Favorite goal?
That was awesome, man.
Martial against Cardiff. Martial against Fulham. Martial against Newcastle.
Martial against the Prem.
Take that Martial goal. He doesn't score a bad goal.
He doesn't. And then, Craig, same question to you. Favorite moment?
The appointment of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
That's what he's brought.
And what he's brought from the momentum that was to the momentum is now, and the feeling around the club that was to the feeling of the club that is now. You know, he's made Manchester United a different club. You know, not just a graveyard. You know, we're fighting. All right, we lost against PSG, so what? But we're still unbeaten in the Premier League under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, aren't we? You know. Yeah. So yeah.
I actually have two, and I know that's a bit of a cop-out, but it's because I've got one they're both results for me that meant so much. One of them was my first match I've ever been to at Old Trafford. I have to put the Newcastle 3-2 win there. It was just, I got the chance to meet so many phenomenal people, one of them being on the screen right now. The other one, I mean, I've been talking to him for about 2 years now, and I mean, I got the chance to meet him in person for the first time. Like, there were so many amazing things about that trip. But number two, and it kind of goes into the fact that Ollie got hired as manager, but it was the 5-1 win against Cardiff. And here's the reason why. That was the first time in about a year and a half I had been truly excited for a win. And I mean truly excited for a win. It wasn't this like the 4-0 FC at the beginning of last year was fun and all, but 5-1, we finally scored more than 5 goals for the first time since Sir Alex left. I was like, holy crap, Manchester United can get back to being one of the best clubs in England. And not only in England, against all the world. So I believe that's just the stepping stone, and we'll see where it goes from there. We will. So I love this question from Jay Hart as well. Which striker would you get right now? So, Craig, that question goes to you first.
Griezmann.
Really? Still Griezmann? Now, why is that?
French connection. It always just seems to get on the end of things. Better than Lukaku.
I'm better than Lukaku. Let's be real about that.
Yeah, and he's a proven goal scorer. You know, and that's all I want in a player. And if he can connect better than Lukaku is with the squad now, then yeah. But he's not. He wouldn't be cheap, would he?
No, he wouldn't. But I also don't want Griezmann anymore. And I said this back to when he really and truly bottled it coming here to Manchester United, because he said at one point that he was 60% coming to Manchester United, and then he blew it coming here. And then he had another chance in the following season, and the guy just decided to sign the contract extension. For me, the guy's a head case.
Yeah.
I don't want I don't want a head case here. I would prefer to splash out extra money and go get Kylian Mbappe and potentially have to swap a player or two inside of that deal. That's just me personally. So, Matthew, same question to you. Striker, who would you bring in?
I've got two names. One name, I think, to maybe be realistic. Another name, we'll probably get some big oofs in the chat. One of which, right, before I say this, we're taking rivalry and stuff out of this, but Sergio Aguero.
Oh, wow.
He scores goals for fun.
What a
I'm not gonna, no, I shouldn't say that. But the other striker should be Mario Icardi, if we're talking about a somewhat realistic option. As George says, I mean, I think his captaincy's been taken off from Inter Milan.
Yep.
Which I think is probably a sign of he could go in the summer. So I think, although then again, like, Rashford at the moment is on another level. So I think the striker position, the first choice, is probably the least of our worries. And it might be even more beneficial to get someone who isn't quite world class yet, but someone who could be, kind of like Timo Werner or some player like that, so that him and Rashford can constantly battle out for that position.
Carlson?
Either be Icardi if we're talking realistic, or Aguero himself.
So it's a hard one for me to say who would be the striker I would bring in at the moment, because it's a debate of, do you think Rashford is good enough to be the striker of Manchester United, or do you think we need to bring in somebody to compete with him? For me, I'm okay with saying Marcus Rashford is good enough, but I also believe that striker is the least of our worries. So for me, because I believe in having a front three that can play across any position. They can play the right wing, can play the left wing, or can play up front. They're interchangeable, and you've seen that during the games with Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford, and Anthony Martial switching spots all throughout a match. They really do. For me, I would go do everything that I could to go get Kylian Mbappe. I would take Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku, and add in an additional player plus 120 million and go get Kylian Mbappe. Do it. Because he can play with that front three across any of those positions. And you add in the fact that with that, you have the ability to have that front three that's interchangeable, young, and just talk about fast. We would have the fastest front line in all of football, without question.
I would as well. Like Matthew had like two players. Harry Kane. Harry Kane just as well. It just come to my head just a minute ago. Like, he is on par as the perfect striker to me as Aguero. Like, you know, he just makes goals out of nothing. You know, he's right. He can header the ball. He can volley the ball. He can hit it left. He can hit it on the right. He is the perfect striker when fit. And I like to see an English striker in Manchester United as well. I would like to see that.
And I actually think that's a very fair argument, Craig, to go get a guy like Harry Kane. That, I mean, let's be real. The potential best formation we might have is a 4-4-2 in somewhat of a diamond formation, and have a Rashford and Kane play up.
And I don't think everyone said, it's an unrealistic transfer, but I really don't. If Ollie isn't the man and Poch becomes the man, and he wants to bring in Harry Kane, could you imagine that? You know, who knows? Harry Kane could be our striker in the next couple of years. You never know.
You never know. But so
You never know.
I'm going to answer this one personally. You guys don't have to answer it. It's not even really a question. So Michael Hubbard said, if we're getting ridiculous, why not? Why is nobody saying Messi? So for me, I don't want to go get Lionel Messi. I don't
want him. He's Barcelona bound. He's Barcelona. I don't.
For me, I look at Messi and I'm just like, you know what? He's a great player, one of the best of all time. But I don't want to go get him because at this point, why? Why not go get a Jadon Sancho? Why not go get a Kylian Mbappe? Why not try and go get that next guy that's supposed to be the guy coming up? I mean, Messi's 30. He spends a lot of time injured.
Is he not 32?
I'm sorry, 32. He's over 30 though.
32. I reckon in the Premier League, I don't think he'd last 5 minutes, if I'm honest.
I still think he scored like a bag full of goals in the Premier League, but I've never ever liked Messi whatsoever.
Nah, like I'd have Ronaldo over Messi.
Oh yeah.
All right, so guys,
I think Messi's not a striker anymore. He's more of a number 10.
Yeah,
it's stupid that you compare Messi to Pogba because obviously Messi's a better player. If we're going to play, someone like Messi with Pogba in the same team, I just don't see it working all that well.
Nah.
So, I mean, Jay Hart does ask a fair question. He said, does Messi want to come to United? He said, I don't think that the price is the problem. Just the question is, does Mbappe want Manchester United? I don't think it necessarily is the question of does Mbappe want Manchester United. I think the question would be, does Mbappe want to come play with Paul Pogba? That would be the real question.
I think he does. Who wouldn't want to play with Paul Pogba? Come on, who wouldn't want to?
I mean, that's fair. Mourinho. We got countered already.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a very fair question. And ultimately, I think at the moment, who wouldn't want, like, especially now that you're seeing the fun attacking football coming back to Manchester United, who wouldn't want to go play for Ollie? Who wouldn't?
Yeah, but if Kylian Mbappe does want to come to Manchester United, he's keeping his lips shut because he, as the same as every United fan, are in the dark about their managerial position, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could be. I reckon it's either Ollie or Poch who's coming or staying.
Yep, that's 100%.
It's one of them. It is one of them, 100%.
So here's the thing. I actually have a question for you guys, and I saw Matthew kind of had a question too, but I wanted to really ask this. You just all of a sudden had a Freaky Friday situation, and all of a sudden you are now Ed Woodward.
Yeah.
You are now Ed Woodward. You have to make 3 signings in the summer. Who are going to be your 3 signings this summer? Matthew, to you first.
He's gone.
3 signings, right? Jadon Sancho will be the first. Ruben Neves and some kind of right back. Probably that Crystal Palace right back, Wan-Bissaka.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, that wouldn't be a bad one. So, Craig, same question to you. Who are your 3 signings?
Koulibaly, Ruben Neves, Jadon Sancho.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with having a big set of brass balls over here.
I know what you're going to say. I know exactly who you're going to say.
Yeah. No. Get out of here.
You're not saying Kante.
I actually believe that Conte is not going to be achievable because I think Sarri is literally on his last leg. And I think that Conte is unobtainable because the next manager is actually going to play him where he's supposed to be playing. Go figure that the guy's playing out of position, and for some reason he's not as good. Who would have thought? But I mean, let's be real here. Ruben Neves is the future at CDM. Bring him in. He could be the CDM. Then I'm going to go ahead, put on my brass balls, and go get Kylian Mbappe. I will swap two players that I don't care about.
Sanchez and Lukaku.
Get them the hell out of Manchester United, and add in. I'll even add up to 180 million. Up to 180 million.
Fucking hell.
I'd be surprised if they accepted that, to be honest. I mean, Sanchez is worth 20 pence at the moment.
And I'd ask for change.
Well, but the combination of the two plus 180 million might get us Kylian Mbappe. I really believe that. Then, lastly, I believe we need to get better at the fullback spot because Ashley Young is not good enough. Just the truth. Ashley Young isn't good enough. We don't know what we have in Delo yet. It's the truth. So I'm going ahead and saying, go get Wan-Bissaka. Go get Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and I believe that will shore up everything that we need at the moment. I believe bringing back Axel Tuanzebe at the moment is something that is crucial to Manchester United. Play him at that center back spot and let him go and do work. Let him do what he does because there's a reason why he won our best young player of the year 2 years in a row for Manchester United. The kid can play, and he's tearing it up with Villa right now. Let him do it. Let him do it. So, and then for me, the reason why I'm okay with giving Ashley Young, which, by the way, not a lot of people expect to hear this because I don't like Ashley Young, but I'm okay with Ashley Young getting a 1-year contract extension to be the backup. Be the guy that, in case something is needed, emergency.
The Lichtsteiner.
Yeah, literally, it's for emergency. Like, I would do, but realistically, I would do whatever I could this summer to go get Kylian Mbappe. I don't care what it's going to take. Go get him. George, because
I just feel like we haven't got the muscle. Like, we haven't got the brain technology to go out and get players like that no more.
So, actually, I'm going to go get the signing that we really should be making. This is the real
get a boy.
Are you ready? Hey, Bubs, are you going to be Manchester United's newest signing? Go on.
Yay!
I want to introduce Manchester United's newest signing, Arthur Southwick. Arthur, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Are you a good boy? Mwah. He's a good boy.
To take him to the throne. He's some boy.
But
beautiful boy.
I mean, listen, guys. A real talk. I would do whatever I could to go get Kylian Mbappe because I believe that man would be big for Manchester United. I really believe that. So, actually, I have a question for you guys. I got another one because I'm. Let's see here. What if it takes Rashford to get Mbappe? All right, Bubs, can you get down? Thank you. So, Dan Gray asked if it took Rashford to get Mbappe, would I do it?
Yeah.
So for me,
but you wouldn't.
I wouldn't, because I believe that you need to have all of the attacking talent possible to keep Manchester United up to its standards. Because right now, look at what's happening. We're going to have Martial and Lingard missing for 2 matches. Now, here's the thing. I guess the question would be, are we going to see Mason Greenwood get chances before the end of the year? And if he's good enough, would I then say maybe get rid of Marcus Rashford? I don't know. But for me, I would still say no. So the real question here, guys, how many players do you think will be let go in this summer? Craig, to you first.
Right, I'll say him out. Damian. I was gonna say Phil Jones, but he's just signed a new deal. Maybe Phil Jones. Maybe they've given him that contract to get a decent bit of wedge for him.
Possibly.
Alexis Sanchez. I'd like to see. I don't want to see Alexis Sanchez go, but I think he will push for a transfer because he's that kind of player. Lukaku I want him to go. Pereira, I think he'll go. Lee Grant.
Well, Lee Grant's probably going to retire. In fairness,
Yeah, maybe.
Don't remind me.
He'll still be 100.
You know what? There was a big two-page spread in the match program about Lee Grant. I was proud. So I was. Took a picture of it as well. Just so I'll never.
By the way, yeah. You got a compliment on the jersey from GT and SR.
Cheers, man. I'd say about six lads out.
I honestly think we might see a lot more than that. Which also could mean that we're going to have a big summer. I genuinely believe total net spend this summer will be somewhere around $250 million. Matthew and I were talking about this yesterday when we were on the phone, and I believe $250 million is about what we're going to spend. So
Mbappe.
Well, I think between selling players and bringing players in, I think that we're looking at a lot of money that we're going to spend. So Matthew, same question to you. How many players do you think will be let go? By the way, Jake, it's no problem, man. You know, you can go back and rewatch it if you want to, but we're just happy you're here live with us right now.
I think 4 people is probably a realistic expectation because we know that there's tons of people who we should sell. Like our starting 11's a really good starting 11, but on the bench and in reserve, there's just not much quality there. I think Sanchez will go, hopefully. I'm not sure if that's more hope than expectation. Valencia's definitely going to go. We've not seen him whatsoever, apart from that.
I forgot about him.
Marcus Rojo will go.
Ooh.
And that's something I'd completely forgotten about as well. He's been injured for about 17 years by the sounds of it. And I'll be honest, I've completely forgotten the other player.
Probably Darmian.
Completely. I wouldn't be surprised if Darmian's one of those players who just stays as a 5-game-a-season player until he retires at United.
I mean, you can see it happening.
1 or 2 of those players. So yeah, Darmian maybe could be another, providing we get another right back in. But yeah, I'd say maybe like 4 players.
So
there's always a potential for Mata to go, however, I just don't think he will.
Well, Mata's on the last year of his contract.
He said that.
The reason why I think we're going to see a lot of players leave is because we have a lot of players on the last year of their contract, and I just believe we're not going to give them the contract extension. We've only given 3 players that were on the last year of their deal a contract extension. Now, De Gea was on the last year, and now he got a 1-year extension. So I just think De Gea wants to see what's going to happen, which, by the way, Salt, I think those would be some quality signings. Just wanted to let you know that. I do think those would be quality signings. But so I genuinely believe that you're probably going to see Juan Mata leave because I don't think we're going to give him the contract extension. I think we're going
to 2 years, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that we will see Matteo Darmian leave Manchester United. I think we'll see Antonio Valencia leave Manchester United. I believe that we're going to see Andres Pereira leave Manchester United, another guy that's on the last year of his deal. I genuinely believe we're seeing Alexis Sanchez gone this summer. I 100% believe that. I think that we'll also see I do think that there's the possibility we might also see Phil Jones leave Manchester United. Because I think when you look at it, you go look and see that you're going to have Timbo and Axel coming back. I think that Phil Jones will just become surplus to requirements. And then, I mean, Ashley Young, I don't see – he's not going anywhere because he signed a 1-year contract extension. But besides that, I mean, realistically, I don't see many more players truly getting sold. I mean, I do hope that Lukaku's gone. I hope we sell him in this summer because I don't believe that he will succeed at Manchester United. I don't know. But I think there's a potential to have all the way up to 8, 9 players sold for Manchester United this summer, depending.
I do feel like we'll have to do that in bits. So, like, you know, do 2 players go, get one in, get rid of another 2, get one in, get rid of another 2, get one in, or get players in and then sell. Because I really don't want to see us get cut short. You know?
I mean, Shaw's somebody else that you can make the argument that maybe we need to start looking for backup for.
Yeah, because complacency will kick in.
Oh, Marcus Rojo. There's another one that's probably going to be gone.
Yeah, I forgot about Rojo and Valencia. You know.
You guys, so we've got time for one more question. We'll take one more question.
I think there's a question about shirt numbers.
What's that?
I think there's a question about a shirt number by Doug, I think. It was like, are there any Man United's like cursed numbers at the moment?
Number 7. I mean, that's a quick one, though. The curse number is the number 7.
Number 13 as well, because no one after league rank can match your standard.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. What do you think? So we're taking Manchester United related questions. So if you guys have a Manchester United related question, get them in. Like I said, we're going to take one more. Otherwise, I'm going to come up with one more question. But I mean, I do like. I mean, Craig, you agree? Number 7 shirt kind of cursed right now.
It's always been cursed, isn't it? Since Ronaldo left, you know, Di Maria, Valencia. Not much on Michael Owen. Yeah, it's been pretty dismal.
So, guys, this is truly the question to end on. And we will go to you first, Craig, so I hope you're ready.
No, I'm not.
When will Manchester United next win the league?
If not next year, the year after. Probably the year after.
I mean, that is a very fair assessment and answer. That is. So, Matthew, same question to you.
I don't want to be boring, but same answer. In 2 years' time.
Yeah.
But we won't win it next season.
No. But it would be more of a push next year.
You know what? Fuck you both. We're winning the league next year. We're winning the league next year. Because Ollie's at the wheel, baby. Ollie's at the wheel. And I believe in what the man's doing. I think that he is going to, like, I really believe he's getting the contract extension. I 100% believe that. I think that from that, we will win the league next year.
I'm
telling you right now, if Ollie's here next year, we are winning the league next year. Because I believe he will bring through the youth that need to be brought through. I think we will see money spent in this summer, and combine that with the fact that I believe Ollie will actually kick out a few players. I believe we will win the league next year. Now, I'm not saying we're going to compete in Champions League. I'm not saying that we're going to necessarily win the FA Cup. I'm not saying we're going to win anything else. But what I'm saying is we will win the league next year if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in charge. Get out of here with any other negativity. If your answer is anything but that, you're kicked off the show. Kicked off. We will block everybody.
You're benched.
You're all banned. If it's anything but 1 year. Next year. But in all seriousness, guys, I mean, this is a great question to you guys as well. So I think that I know I've seen a couple of people answer it already. So Dan Gray said 3 years. George Kyle said, I reckon 2022. Jay Hart said, I love – you know what? Jay Hart went with the real positivity. In 2 months' time, Liverpool and City are going to bottle it. I love it. I love the positivity. Give me all of it. Give me all of it.
I reckon in two to 3 years' time, like next year will be an even better push. And then the year after that, hopefully we the old Manchester United is there, winning the league, winning it by Christmas.
Yes, exactly. Solstice said, if I'm being honest, a 10 to 20 years, which I disagree with, but you know what? We respect all opinions here. We respect all opinions here.
20 years.
Jake Herbert said 2 to 3 years.
That's
Michael Hubbard said we should be looking to win in 3 years. If not more questions are going to be asked. Vandy Candy said 4 to 5 years. Squad needs to strengthen up because Pep keeps improving his squad ever so slightly every year. Salt said,
"Did he say Pep?"
Yeah, Pep Guardiola has been improving.
He won't be there in 5 years.
Well, probably not. You're probably right. But so Salt changed their answer real quick and said, you know what, we're going to win the league next year. I love it.
Good man.
Good man. So if we don't win soon, big questions are going to be asked, like Mike Hubbard said, which that is very, very true.
Questions are getting asked now, aren't they? You know.
So George Kyle said, best answer when oil runs out in the world. Yes. Probably real. But guys, let's go ahead. Let's wrap it up. This has been a great Q&A. I love doing Q&As because it just allows us to answer different questions from people. So guys, we'll try and get more of these in. By the way, I'm going to let you know now. So my job, I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling with my new job. And not next week, but the week after, I'm actually traveling up to Portland, Oregon. And I don't know what that's going to mean in terms of a streaming schedule. And I know for a fact that I'm likely not going to be able to watch the Chelsea game live. I'll probably be watching it when I get home from work on Monday. So as unfortunate as it is, like these next couple weeks are going to probably be a little bit weird, but you guys know me. I'm going to do everything I can to get you guys content whenever and however I can. But I wanted to just say thank you to both of my guests. Craig, thanks for joining me, bro. Shout out.
Thank you for having me. And good luck on your new journey on your job, bro.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. So I will be doing road streams. I will 100% do at least one stream from Oregon. I can promise that. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll get 2 streams in while I'm up in Oregon. You never know. But Matthew, as always, I mean, I know I talk about a couple of things on the show, but I forget sometimes. I feel like I might see them on my walls right now, but you never know. Matthew, anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I think I sort of alluded to it yesterday that the store may not be anymore quite soon, but I think that's a thing of the past now. Because I'll check the net, see if they've done just a mass cull of football-related content, and mine still seems to be up, which could be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, but well, it's up. Got the offsidegraphics.com.
Or maybe we could do an Instagram live.
What did you say, sorry?
He said Instagram live.
Yeah, maybe we can do some Instagram live videos.
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe I'll probably do a Twitter live video because I don't really, my Instagram really isn't it is more for business stuff. Since I am a real estate agent as well.
Yeah.
So,
no problem.
But what we can maybe, I mean, I can personally do a Twitter live kind of thing, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I'll
We'll
walk
make
around
something
Portland, even though Portland is kind of a lawless hellhole now. We talk real talk in this chat, guys. But genuinely, thank you to both of my guests. I mean, I love these two guys. I can't tell you the friendships that we've created. It's just been phenomenal. And the fact that we're halfway around the world, it doesn't matter. We still manage to keep friendships going no matter what.
Man.
I love these guys. Permission to pay George for saying lit. No, we out here in 2019, fam. We doing what we doing, Matthew. Yes.
You've just said, fam, I'm quitting the stream now.
But just genuinely, guys, thank you for joining me. And I really do truly hope that you guys all have a great night, a great day, wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. Keep doing you guys, because I love you. I love you. And you're awesome. Man. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you very much.